Welcome, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Greatness Engineering Hour show, the show that is brought to you by the Mirai Tulekima Global Leadership Organization. As usual, I bring you champion, I bring you people who come with a particular knowledge to inspire you, to help you, to educate you on subject that you might have gaps. So today, as we're gonna stay here in Australia, so we're going to the East Coast, so not too far today. And we're going to talk about the manpower magic. And that's going to be a very important and inspiring, I think, subject that people are going to find very interesting, especially in this time of uncertainty. As you know, uncertainties has become our daily reality. We live in a world that is very volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. And we are also in the middle of the fourth industrial revolution where things are digital and things are going really fast. And people live, with the fear that automation and digitalization is going to replace, the human being. So a lot of fear that we are surrounded with. And on top of that, there's the pandemic. We are in the middle of the pandemic. Here in Australia, we are lucky that, it's not too, we're getting out of it, but it's still very intense in other part of the world. And it's creating a lot of emotional stress, and there is a lot of suffering. And today, I'm bringing, somebody who is specialist in manpower. So the manpower lady herself, Dr. Angela Wilson. She's a multi-skills and multi-talented woman. She is a COVID-19 mind matrix, and she will explain it to us. And she's a mental health educator. She does a lot of things, and I will leave her the opportunity to introduce herself when I bring her in, because she's been doing tremendous work, and I will not be able to explain it myself, so I will give her the luxury to do that. But what we can remember is that she decided to really focus on what humanity has to offer instead of being in fears. She invested a lot of money in the past year researching the root and cause of human misery, and she will tell us a little bit about it. She's going to tell us more about it and how she came up with a secret formula of manpower skill. So without further ado, I'm going to bring Dr. Angela Wilson with us, and we're going to have a great conversation, and I know that you will enjoy talking to her. So make sure you have your pen paper, because there's going to be a lot of learning today, and write down everything that's going to be shared. And if you're watching live, please, don't hesitate to come in to ask question. She is a specialist, and she can help you. So don't go anywhere. I'm bringing Dr. Angela Wilson now. Another episode of the Greatness Engineering Hour show, the show that is brought to you by the Mirai Tulekima Global Leadership Organization.
Is important is if you just look at the word compassion, when it's behavior, it's something that can be learned, and it is something that we can embody through habits and through our daily actions.
Like, what can I do now with this all experiences that that I have? And for me, it's knowing who I am, believing in myself, and trust, and have confidence that yes, this has happened.
To get this idea that if we interject this wisdom intentionally, I call them needle movers. It's the needle mover that's missing.
So welcome, Dr. Angela. Welcome to the Greatness Engineering Hour show. And I'm very excited today because I really want to understand what's, the power magic is. I'm pretty sure people who are watching are also curious to know exactly what it's all about. But before we reach this point, I just want you to introduce yourself because I just gave a brief introduction about you, and let us know who you are, what are the key things that you do, and what really we need to know about you.
Okay, and first of all, I would like to say it's my pleasure to be on your show. And also, I want to bring the best value to your audience, especially in this COVID-19 pandemic. Everyone live in the fear, which is not necessary. And about me, I'm in Brisbane, Australia. Australia is a country of my choice. China is a country of my birth. And I have focused on my mission to raise by lifting others through what? Through how to activate the power, the mind power from the unconscious mind, which most people misunderstood at a global scale. Every leaders, every gurus, every masters, every practitioners, every healers, every people who focus on personal development, cultivation, enlightenment, meditation, you name it, are all trying to find that secret. And most of them are heading to the cliff edge and leading themselves to a wrong direction without awareness. That's why I'm fearful. Although I have so many different backgrounds or roles, yeah, but all the roles serves one thing: just help the world a better place. Through what? Through each individual are able to activate the part of the mind unused by us, but used by other invisible forces.
And that's the the curiosity that I want to get into. But first of all, I want to know, how did you become aware of the importance of the mind power, and it obviously took you quite a lot of time to develop this expertise, but when was the awareness, and what was really the breakthrough for you to really say, I'm gonna focus all my energy and all my work on that?
That's a very good question. Currently, what everyone facing like an unexpected coronavirus pandemic, the fear of uncertainty of future, fear of uncertainty about death, fear uncertainty about after death. What people are focused on are forced to focus on, forced to think. I already have had that since my birth. Before 6, I already in the position like live in the catastrophic environment and feel like, okay, what will happen to me in the future? Because I was born unwanted. My mom tried to drown me to death at my birth. And then every day I was physically, emotionally, mentally abused by the family. That's one part, my personal life. Besides the abuse, and I was also be what it is called discriminated, and also I was also slaved as a labor. So I was basically follow my doctor parents, to take care of their family, home visit clients, patients, and also I follow my doctor parents to their daily routine in inside the city hospital. We were residing in the city hospital at a conventional building, a residential building, but nobody took care of me, so I follow my doctor parents. Then every day what I saw is doesn't matter how wealthy, how powerful the person is, they suffer the same way like those people who are vulnerable and poor, physically, emotionally, mentally. And then also I saw the newborn baby, beautiful little infant, and born dead with tears on the cheeks. So I was worried, why the human's life need to live like this, suffering. I thought I come to the world, I'm going to enjoy life. But what I saw as a little kid, it's all suffering. Yes, people may for millions are happy, but most of the time are suffering. I didn't understand why I need to live a life like this. And then one day, my father took out a notebook and started reading all the destiny of all kids. That's really bizarre. I was 6, and one of my siblings was told she will have a miserable life after 40. So ever I look at her, it's like, oh, bad luck. When I saw her face looks hopeless, looks like innocent, looks like, okay, that's my life. What I can do, I can just go through it. It's like a chicken or fish. You're waiting for being caught. I cannot accept that. I was angry. Even I was 6, I was angry. I was thinking, how could possible you accept that? You struggle, grew up, then when 40, you will live miserable anyhow. So to me, it's like, what's the point? I even need to grow up. I don't want to grow up to end miserable. Does that make sense? So I look back my father and asked how to change destiny. He looked at me like I'm an alien. He said, nobody can change destiny. Then I was thinking, my goodness, that sucks. Why? Because to me, my life already living the hell. Does that mean I will suffer like this the rest of my life? No way. So I start thinking, my goodness, I need to save my life. But who saved me? Nobody put me under their wing. Nobody even look at me. I'm nobody. I was told to my parents over you are zero, you are nobody. I was even forced to sleep in the quilt. Even the quilt is washed clean. But all the bugs from the rice board, what they do is they put the rice board under my bed to protect from the rats. In old time, people buy a lot of rice. But they can move away. Yeah, put a stone on the lid. He didn't do it. So I was sleeping in the bed and feel exhausted, want to sleep. But then I worried that the bugs are getting into my ear. They are crawling around my skin. That's really freaking scary. And also smelling the vomit. But they don't care. They don't even listen to me. They don't want to listen. That's how it is. Yeah. Then I told myself, I need to save myself. The point is, how I'm the person who is suffering can save myself. That's the time when I start asking if I have to, I'm the only resources can save myself, then I need to digging out what's the resource I have. So I start thinking, my eyes, my arms, my skin, who is the I? Yeah, that's the time I start digging out. So every night when everyone go to sleep and I heard my parents snoring, that's the time I started really working on myself. Daytime I had no chance because you don't know what happened. They suddenly abuse you. They don't tell you, oh, okay, give you 5 minutes or 1 hour, meditate. After that, when you recover, then we beat you again. They don't do that. Yeah. So I was thinking at night, I said, oh, well, how I can save my life? Who is me? How I can get rid of the tension. I can feel my body, muscles, the tissues was tight. So that's the time I found out that unconscious mind. And the most people professionals in who are master in the psychology or the whatever, how you call it, the mind mastery, yeah, all mixed or confused between the conscious, subconscious mind, unconscious mind. And subconscious mind is emotional mind, which is emotion. Even you look at Google it, you can search for Sigmund Freud. He mentioned the unconscious mind is largely inaccessible. You can see an iceberg, and you can see the writing is about fear, uncertainty. Yeah, all the darkness experience is in the unconscious mind. That's not true. That's as long as that's emotion related is unconscious, is subconscious mind. What happens is the unconscious mind, the reason why unconscious mind is largely inaccessible, two reasons. One is other forces, invisible forces, is actually dominate that through the universe, dominate every human being, and that's how to control the whole the earth dimension. If you already heard about transparency, how the world is controlled, that's at the what level? Conscious level, people's judgmental mind. But everyone is victim. Everyone is a victim. Suffer from what? Suffer from their own unconscious mind is controlled by other invisible forces. That's the real reason. If you watch the movie Matrix from 1999, it's talk about the whole world is a matrix. Yeah, it's controlled. Then the mafias asked Nico, yeah, you need to fight. But actually it's wrong. When we fight, we are trapped. When we fight, we are trapped to the wrong direction. That's exactly what invisible forces want us to do. That's why you can see you in humans history, when people fight wars. Now if you see some news, you see the potential, the Third World War, right? It's all actually is the fight from the unconscious mind. Other invisible forces work on humans' unconscious mind and make people triggered to start conflict with each other. When we are in that direction, we are trapped to misery. And in this part, this is like a warehouse, a powerhouse. Yeah, is powerhouse, is power there or is already there? And mind is different from brain. Brain is material. Mind is energy. Subconscious mind, conscious mind is energy. Unconscious mind is energy. So that's powerhouse. Unconscious mind is power. But if we don't take it, other forces already take it. So other forces control human being through what? Through unconscious mind, using consciousness, subconsciousness, which we are using. That's also a reason why so many successful people like Stephen Jobs, yeah, Stephen Bean from Hollywood, a billionaire, so many billionaires suicide, yeah, so many celebrities suicide or trapped into ADHD, ADHD, PTSD, yeah, addiction, you name it, cannot get rid of that. That's the reason. That's the part. If we do not take over, other forces control it. They make our mental strength. We focus on success. Yeah, we have super mental strength on that. The mental strength become also the enemy, become the sword with two edges, end up kill us. That's why you can see currently, because COVID-19, so many people recognize professionals and leaders, they recognize with the mindset they have, with all the meditation, all this kind of technique, it doesn't work anymore. Doesn't work anymore. Can you see that? Because everyone live in the fear. Why? Because it come to the point that that part is taking over. Because what happens, most successful people use what? Use hypnosis. Yeah? Hypnotic reason is what is the tool used to control the universe, to trap the mind. So when we use hypnotic reason, mind, any kind of mind rewinding technique, especially NLP, neuro linguistic program, is actually depress depress all the true real root causes of issues, then we feel, okay, we are free from that. But we constantly need reprogramming, reminding, rewinding our mind. But apparently, you know what happens? When we suddenly lose the conscious, yeah, in coma, or suddenly we have a car accident in coma, our mind is not there anymore. Our consciousness is not there anymore, right? Then how we can control our mind, use mind rewinding NLP technique. And also, like Stephen Jobs, he was so intelligent. He mastered NLP. Why he couldn't use NLP to save his life? Because NLP is depressed the problem. That's why he tried to find the root causes, couldn't. Because that's all is in the unconscious mind, which is the powerhouse. So what we need to do, we need to take over the control. It's there, but it's owned by others, not owned by us. So what happens in my childhood, because I want to survive and nobody can save me, and I recognize I might be dead in the next moment, I have to save myself now, cannot wait. There is no chance to wait, no chance to do meditation. So what to do? I recognize when I take over the control of that part, fighting that part, not fighting with my parents. When I take over that part, whenever I was physically abused, yes, physically feel pain, yeah, but mentally, emotionally, I am okay. That's the reason. When you read all the story about the world top, success people, everyone carry the suit, carry the pattern from childhood. Yeah, the pain from childhood, the trauma from childhood can carry the rest of their life until they die. Then carry when they die, carry with them. Why like that? Because the power in the unconscious mind is controlled by other forces. That's the reason. But in order to free ourselves from the mind prison, we just need to take over that ownership. That's it.
That's the most difficult part, because
You are right.
unless you really know, how it powerful it is, you might actually not even, realize that it's those forces are around. Because like you said, as soon as you feel bad and you go and use some techniques, you everything seems to be gone, but it's not. And that's the challenge. So how do you, I mean, as a normal person with your fears, and how do you regain this power? I mean, what are the tools, the strategies that you recommend to use to get back this power?
Yeah, what you said is correct. What I'm sharing here is what every gurus, every spiritual leaders are looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Most of them are trapped to the wrong direction. Why I know that? I was myself was a nun couple of months, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and then later on spent a couple of years to research different religion, and I was in the process to be a nun, real nun, stay there forever. But then I recognized I cannot teach this technique. I can only teach Bible, Sutta. Then I recognize all these people, gurus and the spiritual leader, they all suffer. They all suffer physically, emotionally, have a health issue. They recognize, okay, I'm not going to buy it. Yeah, because for me, it's not about you betraying what you intend to do. Is if that what I intend to do serve my highest purpose, because I'm here to get rid of the mind prison. So I need to make sure whatever I do for that purpose, it doesn't serve that purpose, I need to change. Does that make sense? Yeah. And then in the childhood, what I recognize basically is like this. You need working on three levels. Consciously, you need to have a clarity and certainty. That's very important in COVID-19. When people have fear and suffering and not sure about future because they focus on external world, what might happen in the economy? What will happen if the economy will not come back? What happens if the board, yeah, It's not open. But remember, in old time, we don't have airlines at all, right? We connect with the land. We don't rely on these things. Does it make sense? So, but if we focus on ourselves, is me, is you, as a person, as a beings who want to enjoy human experience, asking yourself, what's your purpose? Maybe you don't remember your purpose from beginning when you come to the world. Yeah, maybe the purpose from beginning you come to the world is completely different from now. Like I was, yeah, the purpose I came here is completely different from what I am doing now. Yeah, and then basically from now on you need to rethink. Now is a good time for people to review their whole life journey, asking yourself, looking back since your birth, what you have achieved does really serve you internally, infinitely. Does that give you that longevity, yeah, sustainability, and also who you want to be from now and in the future? How your journey in the future from now on can serve you internally. That's the point. And also certainty. We need to be certain why we are here, why what we are doing, what exactly we want to do, or what exactly why we are doing what we are doing. And also focus on yourself. When we are grounded to focus on yourself, we will find out you will be able to actually shift your energy power to another level. Only when we are grounded with ourselves, we are able to serve others at a high level. I recognize the current because people are living the stress, suffer themselves. Even before, they're all talking about want to contribute to the world. Yeah, but now their mind is shifting to themselves because they worry their survival. Yeah, they don't know what might happen in the future. I can, Indian have now currently Indians suffer because of death. Yeah, I contacted several Indian people who are leader there. I said I'm because I'm also an ambassador of a global peace. Yeah, so I said I'm able to contribute if any of you want to arrange online events regularly. I'm happy to teach a high level of technique on, even because the Indian people like meditation, like a praying, like healing. Yeah, I'm able to answer question, help them how to adjust the skill, even meditation, not just meditate to feel cool or God save me, yeah, but to really take over the power. But nobody actually give me positive feedback. They said people they know actually are all focused on worried what happens in their family. Can you see that? Why? Because people are trapped in that direction. Oh, I worry my survival, my spirit, my survival spirit, that if I'm able to survive, if I'm going to die or not. That's the reason. But before this happened, they feel cool. I want to make a difference. Yeah, change the world. Can you see that? Why cannot? Because it's trapped in by the hypnotic reason. Follow what? Follow the trends of what is going on in the world. So still connected with external world, but not digging deep inside themselves. Does it make sense?
and and it's powerful what you're saying, because it means that we already have everything that we need, but we still want to look outside, where it's actually by looking outside we basically taking out a lot of our power, and we becoming weak. And
Right. That's right.
that's really not what we want to do. We want to go inside and become stronger, because there's already a good basis there. And then if we keep adding by going inside, then we become even more powerful. So
That's right.
that's mhm. So that's really, the message here. So we're just going to take a break, and then we come back to continue this very interesting conversation. And I hope that for people who are going to watch the replay or watching right now, that they're enjoying all the input, because those are really key things that we're missing And like you said, we tend to focus on other people, on the trend, on what's happening, but we forget to focus on ourselves and know really the power that we have and the power that we are ourselves. So that's important, an important message to share. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back in few minutes.
Co-Response International, the world's first mind matrix specialist, Dr. Angela Wilson reveals the coding secret in a mysterious part of the mind that traps the human experience into the predestination, the paradox of suffering and success. Any busy, aspiring, and ambitious individuals have the privilege to convert the energy of thoughts, synchronizing with a high-demanding lifestyle, and escapes potentially life-threatening diseases, eliminate successfully future life-altering mistakes, sidestep events that would have been otherwise catastrophic, avoid premature death, suicide. This revolutionary discovery can dramatically minimize the invisible risk for investors, corporate shareholders, CEOs, executives, project managers, business partners for smarter decisions in any circumstances. It provides extra security. You can even read the dynamic trends of any interpersonal environment, synchronizing with a vibrant lifestyle. You will never attract a tragic fall and lose a sense of control resulting from any unpredictable situations. It is worth checking out.
Angela, what you have to offer is so powerful and so unique. You truly have your hands on what humanity is looking for, but afraid most of us to find. And the power behind what you understand and your gift is something that I have no doubt people will always more and more be finding your gifts. Angie, I was so thrilled with what you had to tell us today. Believe me, 2,500 people were there. They didn't see anyone who could compare with what you had to offer. It was thrilling, it was real, it was powerful, and I know, and so did they, that you're speaking from a higher truth. Absolutely.
Let me tell you guys something about Dr. Angela Wilson. She is the best speaker in today's event. I enjoyed her immensely. Everyone should listen to what she has to say because she is the next greatest and biggest thing out there. Angela, we love you.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce Angela Wilson from Australia. Wow. Yesterday I was really stunned by her presentation on unconscious mind. She really rocked the whole boardroom of 4,000 people. Can't believe, she just mentioned things around energy management, your sexual energy management, and control it and take it to a different level. Being an entrepreneur, I know that some of those facts, but I think now we have a lady who is a coach who has really become an authority in that unconscious mind aspect. I think it's time to get in touch with Angela Wilson.
Really profound message as well, because I understand she's the first person to interact the conscious mind with the unconscious mind and merge that. And what we can, the first person to do that, opening the doors for exploration to find that, and the results we can have as a result of understanding that is going to be fantastic. So I would really encourage you to listen to what Dr. Angela has got to say and embrace that wonderful wisdom that we look forward to hearing more of in the future. Thank you very much.
What her philosophy and practical application does for you as a human being will open you up to broader things that you never thought possible and give you a very solid grounding foundation that is unshakable.
So when I saw you, Angela, it was so wonderful. Since the time I noticed you at this conference, I could just see how illuminated you were, and you were so kind and smiling at everybody. And I was like, I wonder why she is like that. And when I saw you speak on stage and you were talking about the spirit and everything else and enlightenment, I thought, okay, now I get it. That's how I try to live my life. But you have an illumination that's just beyond anybody that I have met. And I just wanted to tell you that because it's beautiful, beautiful spirit.
In a world that collectively values fortune, power, and success, we indulge in the fantasy of fulfillment, but are cursed by endless suffering and temporary euphoria. We are so powerless and vulnerable, dealing with the intractable mental blocks in any shape or forms concealed by success and achievement. The confusion of wealth, success, prosperity, power, and peace keeps us in darkness. We wobble through our whole life journey with fear, doubt, and uncertainty. Even if we escape a bad luck, dementia, Alzheimer's disease, painful death, and uncertainty of spiritual transition are waiting for us. Dr. Angela Wilson initiated her fearless adventure at age 6, experimenting on herself and acting as an assistant to her doctoral parents around the powerful and the rich. Early success gave her an advantage, focusing on revolutionary discovery. She has mentored religious leaders and their disciples, coached spiritual masters and gurus. She consulted members of the most powerful family in political history. She was featured on Motivational Speaker Australia, Psychologist Directory China, and global media. Her brand was introduced to the Hollywood circle at Oscars Weekend 2018. As a mind technician, global speaker, profit coach, wealth and success strategist, entrepreneur, and global peace promoter, she has achieved an unshakable transcendence, the path of liberty in the mind matrix. If you want to break the spell and remove the curse in the mind, if you want to stay powerful forever, be ready.
So we are back with Dr. Angela Wilson, and as you could see from the video, this is powerful what she's doing. And Dr. Angela, I wanted to ask you, now, we see COVID-19 is here. It's not going away. So just want to know, how do you think using, the different techniques that you have, how do you think the work that you're doing can help, in a way, decrease the impact or do something that can help, to manage this?
Okay, as I mentioned, this technique, how to take over the control of unconscious mind, is what every leaders, gurus, masters are looking for. But most of them spend the whole life working on that, but didn't get it right without even know it. So you can say is not easy, yeah. And I'm lucky that because I go through the catastrophic events, and I had basically with the gift that I want control, because I'm the person, from the time when I was born, yeah. And especially I remember when I was 2 years old, around 2, when my mom beat me so painful, I looked at her back, I really hated her. And I look at her with eyes, it's like, I hate you. You are here to kill me. I want revenge. When I look at her, I can see my eyes triggered her emotion. Then I looked at her, the muscles on face changing. I know I'm in danger. She might poison me immediately. That's the time I recognize I cannot expect external world. Have to dig from the inside. Yeah, that's exactly the reason. Then because this technique is not easy to find. So what I did is I actually have a book on path-to-liberty.com, and basically cover many cases, cover my true experience and clients' experience and the true cases to analyze. Because to working on that, need working on 3 levels. One is consciousness, one is emotion. But why different technique, you go to counseling, whatever, we still suffer. even consciousness, subconsciousness, because the other part, the big part, is unconscious level. Yeah. So in the book, I analyze all this. Yeah. For the unconscious level, I share with you, these invisible forces control that. And that's very complicated. And so many gurus, spiritual leaders who are working on enlightenment, or healing, actually are trapped into wrong direction. So what I designed is, you only work on this and this. And I teach clients, to help them to remove all these loopholes from here and here. And this part I take over. This is like a special skill. It's like you are a surgeon, it's like you explain how to open the open the brain and take out the tumor. It's hard and also very scary. Okay, very scary. And that's why so many people is working on cultivation trapped by schizophrenia, all this issue. Some monks and masters, they never have that mental health issue, but once they tap into that means you are connected with other invisible sources. If you don't have a power over them, they over you. That's why people trapped in that. So what I do, I take this over. I take all the risk on my shoulder. That's what I do. Yeah. So in the book, cover all this. In the book, I cover also invisible forces. I mentioned that, but not go deep, because we don't need to know that. Otherwise, we can be trapped like other people, trapped to the wrong direction. Does that make sense? We want to focus on positive and also focus on what is worked in the conventional world. This technique is for what? For who? For aspiring individuals. You are ambitious, you are aspiring, and you like a competition. You want to be the winner in the conventional world. Yeah. And then when people to work on that, when reading the book, working on that, I also have a training video. Yeah. And watching that, then you start to connect with your business, your career, your personal life. Be grounded, working on practical daily life. Don't go to woo stuff. Just focus on that. Yeah. So really be grounded and think about your conscious level, how you connect with everyone around you, the whole world, external world, but not be trapped, but stand still and tall. Yeah. And also how emotion you deal with every experience you had before, and how you deal with people now and also in the future. That's the key. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. So, but I have a question, because
Yes.
when you talk with some people, because you
Mm-hmm.
said we have to focus on ourselves and focus on the positive, and in a way ignoring what's outside. And we see a lot of people actually saying, yeah, but doesn't exist. So for themselves, for them, it's not a reality for them. And what do you think about that? Is it a technique that helps, or is it, a dangerous thing? What do you think as a
That,
mind technician?
that's a really good question. First of all, COVID-19 is a reality
Mm-hmm.
at Earth's rank, Earth's dimension.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
when people practice on spirituality or healing, they are tapped into the other direction, saying everything we see is illusion. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's not true. I share with you. If not true, that means, for example, if not true, that means that you get married, your wife, your children is not true. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. 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 Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we think the logic. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So what we are living now, COVID lighting, is true.
Mm-hmm.
Is true on this earth dimension. If not
Mm-hmm.
true, why people dying? Why the hospital? Everyone is working hard. Yeah. So don't confuse it with two a reality.
Mm-hmm.
So have clarity on two reality. One is on Earth dimension, what is happening is true on this dimension. As long
Mm-hmm.
as we are in physical body, we are have a human experience, that's true. It's
Mm-hmm.
not illusion. But if we leave the body, we are on other side. We are not
Mm-hmm.
in the physical body reality, then the other side, from the other side, think this one is not true. Because on
Mm-hmm.
the other side, we don't have a physical body. Does it make sense now?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
when I see the mind power, we take over the control of unconscious mind. The more percentage we are able to occupy, the higher level we are able to free ourselves from the
Mm-hmm.
mind prison. When I say for state or liberty in the mind present, I'm talking about focus on your human's experience, enjoy the experience, but do not caught up to be the victim or to sacrifice. Yeah, let's talk about the why COVID-19 happened. COVID-19 is just something normal as one of the put like that, one of the method or solution, a way, approach that to create Earth's misery. There's so many Earth's misery, earthquake, yeah, tsunami, yeah. Earth's misery is part of what is called attributes, factors, is necessary on Earth's dimension. Why? Earth's dimension, human beings' rank is at a very low level and have low frequency. Low frequency need what? Need energy. Where this energy come from? From negativity, from human suffering. You can see also animal suffering. When we suffering, that create low energy, negative energy. That is a fuel to what? To actually contribute on this Earth dimension to keep the existence of the Earth dimension. Otherwise, we couldn't enjoy the human being experience. So in whole life journey, it doesn't matter now or 1,000 years ago, one person's experience, life experience, always have like a war, natural disaster, because that's just a part of what is happening on Earth's dimension. We need to accept that as it's a natural way. That's it. But what we don't want to be the victim. Does it make sense? We want to enjoy life, human being, parties, sex, marriage, weddings, travel, but we don't want to be the victim. If we don't want to be the victim, we have to take over this part of the control. What happens? This part of the mind is controlled by other invisible forces 24/7. It's mentioned. I want to introduce this book. It's mentioned in this book. And so many successful people all read this book. But most of them cannot really get the solution or understand properly. Even they are intelligent, they know, they read all this. But there are words behind the scene. Because this is an interview, Napoleon here interviewed the invisible forces control the world. But the answer from the invisible forces, he called it devil, yeah? But actually it's a metaphor. I took it as a metaphor so people don't get scared, yeah? What happens is in his answer, he actually confused us. So in my training, if you go to the website, path2liberty.com, I actually pick up some keywords and analyze that. And he mentioned, I occupy the unused part of the mind. What is that? Is the unconscious mind. But why he occupied? Because that's how he control every human being. That's it. To make sure most of us can contribute the negative energy on Earth. Does it make sense now? And in the book, he even mentioned the 98% of people. But point is, once you decide to take over this control, you are free from the number. You don't care the number. Because more people have the awareness of what happens, the Earth dimension will raise up. Yeah? Then we can create another, what is called, another better world that there are different products, different service, But then depends on who want to go to that level. But the world is designed this way. So we have to be initiative, make the effort. So COVID-19, what we need to do with the COVID-19, we need to really focus on keep a distance from others. I see on the street, so many people when they're in the bars, when they're in the group, they don't keep a distance anymore. That's dangerous because there are different levels of the reasoning about where this COVID-19 comes from. Yes, there are conspiracy about that it comes from the laboratory. but this at the human level.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but remember, all humans suffer. COVID-19, everyone can caught up by COVID-19, right? Regardless of what position you are in.
Mm-hmm.
But the other level is randomly everyone can contribute to COVID-19.
Mm-hmm.
So keep a distance is important to protect your physical body. And also when we are able to working on this, take over the control, we can boost our immune system to another level. Which that means we don't really need to rely on so-called good diet, nutrition. I don't rely on that one. But if we don't have mind power, it's better to stick to the proper diet. Does it make sense? Because we are bonded by the physical body. When we are able to take over the control, we are more controlled by what? By our power. We can use the power working on the body. That's the point.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And that's probably something you want to explain a little bit, because
Mm-hmm.
people don't understand that there are different dimensions. They, everything that they see around them, it's everything for them. So how many dimension do we really have, as human being, as especially when we're looking for to get, to take control of this power? How many
Okay.
level are we gonna have to cross, or
Okay.
are we gonna have to
Okay.
to
That's a
do?
good question.
Mm-hmm,
Unconscious mind, everyone actually have experience. For example,
mm-hmm,
if suddenly we drink too much alcohol, we maybe lose consciousness. Yeah,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
we lose the consciousness. That means awareness we lost.
mm-hmm,
But we can still feel something. Like we are in the coma. You can hear people say in the hospital, you're in coma. They can hear people are calling their name. Yeah, we have that. But point is, we are not control that part. And that part is the powerhouse. That part is what I'm talking about. As long as there are other dimensions, there's so many. That actually is when people are able to tap into this part, they will be able to. That's what I take clients to different level, because every level there are also different invisible forces. Yeah. So I take clients to bypass all these problems, because you don't need to know all these complicated things. You just need to know, focus on your part. And then also you need working on, currently as a foundation, you need working on your diet, working on your nutrition. That's a foundation to build up the body. Yeah. And then from there also need to identify the gaps. That's a very special technique. Yeah. And then you need to find someone who have a different background, who understand the gap between, and they can help you to build up the consciousness and the subconsciousness, and able to align all this together. That's a very special skill. That's also the reason why so many people, practitioner, many practitioners, coaches learn so many different techniques. Yeah. But still suffer themselves. Why? Because it's hard to find the gap. Why is hard? Because people use their mind, which is controlled by hypnotic reason, controlled by this part, to try to find the problem. We cannot use the mind that create the problem to have the solution. Does it make sense?
it does make sense. And I think it probably require more, more input, especially on a case by case basis, because as you stated before, it's, it depends on, the reality that the person is responding to, but also from, themselves, how, aware they are of what's happening, inside of them. And that's a key thing. I wanted to ask you, because obviously you've worked with all kind of different leadership, culture, religion. Do you think that, what you're talking about, this mind power magic, it's something that every single leader should have?
If every leaders, they really are the leader from the within, they want to really want dominate the whole life journey. They have to have it. This is called essential survival skill. It's like this. You want to have the highest potential. While the 80% of the unconscious mind is controlled by other invisible forces, not controlled by you. So basically, it's what you are slaved by other invisible forces, without even know you are slaved. Does it make sense? So if you really wanted to dominate your life journey, you have to. If you don't have that skill, you know what happens? It's a predictable, tragic ending. Why? Because one day we're getting old, right? And most people getting old, they have no clue why they caught up by dementia, as mania disease. That's all connected with invisible world control. And in the material world, there is no way to prevent it. They can see we change the diet and practice the brain, make it active, but nobody can guarantee that. Yeah? And I invested over $1 million in research everything. I took many times my life risk. Because why? Because I want to make sure I'm safe. Because that's the first thing I need a benefit. Yeah? That's why I'm working on that. And I share with you. And I already prepared myself to die immediately. I prepare for that. And the point is, it's not about the death. Death is temporary. Yeah. What happens is after death. So what I do every day, doesn't matter what rule I take, is actually generate this power to what? Take over, generate more power, because more you are active in business, career, personal life. Yeah. And the more you have a chance to generate another level of power to prepare for what? If suddenly I caught by a car accident in coma, I'm able to use that source to save my life if I still want to stay here, or I can use that source to go to another level, leave the body. You know why so many success people at the time when they die? I actually on the website, I talking about the one success people, billionaire. He didn't want to die. He was so scared for death. He made so much money to keep his body alive. Yeah, but he has to die anyhow at 98. You know what happens? He died scared. His face was so scared. Why? He was so powerful. He was the king in his business empire. Why like that? And then when we're getting old and we are not able to control our mind body, we lose dignity. We are not able to help ourselves. Does it make sense? And in my book, the good thing is in my book, I cover all the details. So basically that book is designed to help people to really think, to understand what's going on, because it will take time to understand that. Yeah, at the conscious level. Yeah, because we wanted to feel safe. That's why that book is for that purpose. Yeah. Path to Liberty. Yeah, the book is called Path to Liberty. And another suggestion is called The Liberty in My Present. Yeah.
Okay, all right. So we're getting to the end. We have a small break, and we conclude on this very, very deep and inspiring conversation. And obviously, we're not going to go as deep as we want in 1 hour, but there's always the opportunity to connect, with Dr. Angela Wilson later after the show. But before we get to this point, let's have a short break and be back to conclude on the show. are back after, to our exciting conversation with Dr. Angela Wilson. And Dr. Angela, I just wanted, before we leave this platform, wanted to ask you, how do you think, the mind power magic and all the work that you've done can help, to bring the world to the next level, especially when we see what's going on right now. We are in the middle of the fourth industrial revolution, where there's a lot of automation, robotic, and people are fearful that they're going to be replaced, especially as far as work is concerned, by robots, and they're going to become irrelevant. So how do you think it's going to be how it can be a game changer for that?
Okay, you actually asked a very interesting question. I didn't suppose you asked this one. Okay, since you asked, I will share with you. Let me think how I explain in a way that your audience feel comfortable. Okay, is the future that robot will going to replace human? Now you understand, if a robot replaces the human are not, the population on the earth is too much, right? Because we don't need that. Now that comes to another reason why COVID-19 is here, because we don't need too many humans. Does that make logic sense?
If you can explain a little bit more, so why are we not needing more human?
Oh my goodness. Okay, so since I think you are very open. Okay, I share with you. I interviewed the original writer for the movie Matrix. Yeah, we talk about this. So since you are you ask this question, okay, very interesting. Okay, there are different saying about what's going on Earth. Yeah, one was used is that the Earth is hacked. Yeah, the Earth is hacked, and regardless if it's hacked by aliens or whatever. Yeah. Oh, by the way, I do have the monks get so scared came to me because the alien touched me. I actually mentioned that in the book. Okay, so the book cover everything. So everyone do not miss the book. You need to go to get the book. Okay, so what happens? The world is heading to a direction we do not need so many humans because we're taken by the robot. And if you watch some Hollywood movie, you can even see in the future human maybe do not have 5 fingers, have 3. So if we don't need so many humans, that actually is a good thing. So that's also urged us to really, I share with you, you need to have an ability. If on Earth do not need so many humans, who is us? Our body is not us. Our body is like a house, is a medium. Yeah, well, we real us hosted in that. That's why it's important to generate the power, to take over the power. What happens when you understand how that works, take the power, the more power you have, the more you are able to control what happens. If the body needs to be destroyed in the car accident or in the war, you don't care. It's like a clothes, it's destroyed, it's dirty or old, you damp it, you buy a new one, right? So what you can do is, once this body is not serving you anymore, or a car accident, whatever, disaster, or even COVID-19, you have the power. That's the power you take over, generate enough, you out that. You can shift yourself to another dimension. You don't need to live on the earth. You can live on the other dimension, my dear. That's exactly what I'm doing. People ask me, Angela, why you are doing what you're doing? I said, I actually, because I know what's going to happen. The purpose on earth, personally, I already get enough. Yeah, I already reached my purpose personally. But why I'm still here? I'm still here because I see so many people do not know what I already discovered. And I also don't want to feel regrets. Yeah, regrets for not doing this. So I'm that's why I'm sharing message, including on your show. Yeah, every month I'm a guest on many shows because I release this message. Yeah, and then what happens? But meanwhile, that's for others. Meanwhile, I prepare myself at any time live here. So when you generate more and more power, what happens? When you live here, you can go to higher and higher dimension. And trust me. And on the other side, there are hierarchy like human beings society. Many people think, oh, the other word is like a spiritual enlightenment. No. If you do working on different religion, you will see different Buddha, different God, different angel. Why? That's a hierarchy. But how you can go to hierarchy if you, especially if you are a aspiring person, yeah, ambitious, you want control. Power. When you are able to take over this power, the more you practice in your daily life, especially start from what? When you generate the power, get rid of, you are able to kill any emotional mental health issue. All this emotional mental health issue does not exist beyond my prison. It exists only in my prison. Different emotional suffering, mental suffering, disease is what? It's different shape of energy. It's like a surfer surfing on the sea. You need to practice how to surfing with different waves. Different symptoms is different waves. That's it. Once you master how to do it, then where is the mental health issue? That's exactly why I didn't trap into any mental health issue. So check your whole body. If you are not put like this, if we are not able to dominate our whole body system, which is called matrix, mind matrix, is a matrix, is a system controlled by your mind. By which mind? That part. It's not the part we think we control or our consciousness, our emotion. And Anthony Robbins talk about every leaders understand we are shaped by what? By our emotion, which is invisible forces. But emotion is also controlled, shaped by other invisible forces at a higher level, which is this part. But if we only understand the mind rewiring is what? Is we are drinking poison. We are drinking poison to kill thirsty. That's it. It's a predictable tragic ending. Now you can see it's very clear why all these leaders, like even Paul Allen, everyone cannot control their destiny because of this. So, but we once you understand the mind power and you know how to use it, this can be an add-on technique. I know many coaches use NLP to coach others. Yeah, you can still use that to coach others, but you yourself have to have the add-on skill that you will never be drowned. And we can see so many people when they help others, they feel drowned, right? After helping others. Why? Because you use the knowledge, the skill, the healing technique, which is hypnotized, which depressed or your real suffering, your unsolved issue. That's the reason. Once you help others, then this kind of issue actually is merged up. That's why you feel drowned. However, if you are able to take over this control, you don't feel drowned, but instead you feel your energy is boosted. Why? Because when you practice more and more, I teach this, you are able to convert anyone's negative energy to the power of yourself as a fuel. In this book mentioned, the invisible forces take over the control of unused space. They use, and also at the time, they prepare human being every day and before the gate of death. And then when they are ready, they take over all the energy to add on their power. So that's very scary. So how we can go to the heaven if we believe in heaven? Because your future is predictable, is here. I'm happy, so happy to find this book. And then what happens once you understand, okay, they bloody won't take over my energy to add on their being. I'm going to take over just my place. Yeah, in my mind. And I will take this negative energy, try to working on me, convert it to add on as my being. Doesn't make sense now. That's how you get energized whenever you teach others. Whenever you teach others, serve the word, you get more energy because you are able to convert the negative energy to the power. So whenever I go in any social events, I do different than others. I don't like others who go talk to people, feel good with each other. I look at the people, I actually go to people, I see their negative things there. Yeah. And I go start talking to them. When I talking to them, I start to help them without they even know. They don't need to know. But at the time when I help them, I actually consume that energy, convert it into the power. That power help them and help myself to go to another level. This is what? This is like a charger, unlimited charger. And when you are able to do it, you don't need a meditation. You don't need a meditation. Say, oh, I need to meditate to cool down. You are automatically charged, automatic all the time. And when you have that ability, why you fear what happens on Earth? You don't care because you know this is a game on Earth dimension. You can see crystal clear is a game here. You're not going to buy it. You can watch what's going on, like you play with like a computer game, right? You see computer game and people doing, but you are out of that. You are out of that dimension. When you asked me before the different dimension, when you are out of the mind prison at different level, you are go to another dimension. But meanwhile, you are not trapped to wrong way. Many people go to the spirituality, they lost the connection with real world. Yeah, but we need to generate. Well, only when we are working on business, career, personal life, very was aspiring. Yeah, have ambition. Yeah, and then we have a goal. Let's put it like this. Then we use that as a way. Yeah, as a channel, actually a chance to actually take over more and more power. That's it.
Yeah. So very, very powerful. So unfortunately, we have to you will have to stop at this level, but please make sure you connect with Dr. Angela Wilson and to continue this conversation and to get to know more about what she does. And she's here to help all the time. And before we leave, Dr. Angela, I just wanted to know, how do we find your book, and what is the best way to connect with you?
Oh, very easy. Go to the website path2liberty.com, and there will be different version, updated version of the book. So once you sign up, you will get the all updated version. And also
Okay.
there's social media, and basically you search for My Power Lady is me.
So she is the power lady, power mind lady. So make sure you connect with her. Make sure you try to understand, what it's all about, because what she's shared today is very powerful, and we need it, right now. Especially with the pandemic, and creating and generating all kind of feelings, all kind of fears, all kind of challenges. And this is really, a method that she's developed, and that this method can help so many of us to start to shift our thinking, and start to shift our thinking from, focusing on what's outside to what's it's inside of us. And any last word that you want to leave the audience with, Dr. Angela?
Remember one thing: if you are able to live beyond my prison and everyone around you is there to serve you, help you go to another dimension. You will live in the bliss every moment. You will never have the fear at all, regardless what may happen.
Thank you so much. Thank you for those who are gonna watch the videos, and really don't hesitate if you have any question, put it in the comment box, and I will make sure that it reach Dr. Angela so that she can address that. But the most important thing, connect directly with Dr. Angela. She's on social media, and make sure you get the book as well on a website, path2liberty.com, and get familiar with the work that she's doing. Thank you so much. I'll be back next week for another episode of the Greatness Engineering Hour show. For now, have a great weekend and see you soon. Thank you again, Dr. Angela, for being such a insightful guest today, and we're surely gonna stay connected. Thank you, and see you all very soon.